What's up everybody, I'm Paul and welcome to my channel. So recently Mark Tilbury, or Uncle Mark as Damien Talks Money affectionately refers to him as, recently did a video about his experiences of setting up a dropshipping business as a side hustle. And I thought this was a really interesting video and gave a really good insight into the process of setting up a dropshipping business. But I felt that I could add some almost value to his video, so I thought I'd do a reaction video and give my input along the way. So hopefully it'll provide some helpful, nuggets of information to anybody who's planning on setting up a dropshipping business. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to give my opinion on dropshipping as a side hustle business, because dropshipping is something that I've been aware of and known about for a very long time. Even though I've never actually started a dropshipping business, I was in the process of starting one, but I have actually known about dropshipping since 2009, which is what, 12 years ago now, because when I was actually in school, I come across the dropshipping business model and was actually planning to launch a dropshipping business. And over the time since, I followed it through all of its incarnations when it was popular on eBay, Amazon, and also Shopify as well. So I do know quite a lot about dropshipping, even though I've never actually personally done it. So with the introduction out of the way, let's jump in and watch Mark's video and I'll give my reaction along the way.
Hi guys, it's Mark. So today I'm going to be paying different people on Fiverr to create all the parts of a dropshipping business. And I mean everything from the Shopify store to the logo to the social media adverts. Then I'm going to throw it all together and see if we can make some of that sweet profit. I'm super.
So that's a bit of a different way of doing it, is to outsource all the different parts of actually building the business. A lot of people, when they're just getting started with dropshipping, aren't going to do this. They're probably going to do a lot of it themselves. But if you are planning on doing it, especially if you're planning on having somebody else build your Shopify store for you, I'd recommend going through and actually trying Shopify out for yourself. Have a play around with the platform, create test orders, do some like customizations to your theme so you understand how the platform works before you just get this site and then you're trying to take live orders and you're not really sure what you're doing. So first, I would recommend having a play around with the platform before you actually get started with your live site. If you want to go and try Shopify out, they do a 14-day free trial, and I'll leave my link in the description to Shopify below so you can go and try them out for yourself.
Super excited for this video because when I was growing up, the internet unfortunately didn't even exist, and mobile phones were the size of a house brick.
Kind of giving my age away here, but I do remember phones actually being that size. My brother-in-law had one. I was a bit too young to actually have one myself, but I do remember them.
We certainly didn't have modern day methods such as drop shipping, which can be done from anywhere you like with nothing more than a laptop and an internet connection. So I'm currently standing in one of my warehouses, and as you can imagine, these have huge running costs. The beauty of drop shipping is that you can let somebody else handle all of that for you, which is really, really great because you can concentrate on making the profit. But if it's so great, why do I have warehouses? Well, I'll give you my opinion on that a little bit later. Now, with that said, let's get back to the studio, jump on the laptop and get this show on the road. After some research, I've decided to sell these oversized blanket hoodies as they're one size fits all. Pretty unique, and they're perfect for summer barbecue nights when things get a little bit chilly, but you still want to stay outside. I also bought a couple for my family at Christmas and they absolutely love them, so I know they're a good product. They all sit around nice and cozy while I'm sat there shivering. So I think the right price to sell these for is $45, and every time we receive an order, I'll purchase the product on AliExpress for $18, leaving us nearly $27 in profit, of course minus any advertising expenses. If we want.
So I think he's actually chosen a really good product on this one because it's got broad market appeal and it's unisex as well. Lots of people are going to be interested in this product, but he did show one of the main problems with dropshipping, and that was he showed the Amazon listing. And this is one of the big things with dropshipping. You're going to be trying to go up head to head with Amazon. And in the screenshot, it showed the pricing of Amazon, and that's the first thing where you're not going to be able to compete is the pricing. The reason is Amazon's going to be buying these in bulk, or people selling on Amazon are going to be buying these in bulk and using things like Amazon FBA, whereas you're going to be buying them individual units and you're going to be paying just under retail price on AliExpress, which isn't a good thing. Second thing with going up against Amazon is always going to beat you for a delivery, because it showed in that screenshot that it was available on Prime, which means you're going to get it delivered next day, if you're drop shipping from somewhere like AliExpress, it could be anything up to 6 to 8 weeks delivery, which, as I say, you're just not going to be able to compete with. And also customer service, due to the reasons I've just mentioned with things like shipping and also returns, you're just not going to be able to compete with Amazon. So you're going to have to do something quite special to get those customers to buy from you rather than buy from Amazon.
This store to be really successful, we need a catchy name, so I've come up with Cozy Comfort. I've also had to spell it in this way so I can secure the .com domain name.
I think that's actually a pretty good domain name. It's quite catchy, but there is a risk of going with things that are spelled slightly differently. It can work really well in your favor. It can also go against you as well, because people just don't remember the name of your business, and they could be able to find a competitor that's got a very similar name to yours that maybe ranks better in things like Google. So while it can work for your business, it's also a risk as well going with something that's spelled slightly differently.
There are tons of great choices here. I've been comparing prices and service quality for the last 20 to 30 minutes, and I think I've narrowed it down to 3 choices. I'm going to give this all-in-one package a shot. As he claims, he can create a converting one product Shopify store, and that's exactly what we're after. $175 is a very good price for a website. However, for my first Shopify dropshipping store, I think it's a pretty steep investment, but I believe a good website can last for years to come. Now we need a
I definitely agree with Mark on this one. Even though it might seem steep when you're getting started, if you have a good quality website built for $175, it's pretty cheap, to be honest. Now with this, you're probably only going to get one of the free themes that's going to be modified. You're probably not going to get a premium theme, because they're not going to be able to buy a premium theme and then build the site as well. Because basically when you're doing this, you're just paying for their time of actually building your website.
The logo for the business, and I found this woman that creates really clean and simple logos, and I think $25 is fairly cheap for a logo, as they stay with a business for years and sometimes even forever. Let's see what she can do. Lastly, we need some video adverts, and this guy says he can create a dropshipping video ad, and this is exactly what we need. $20 is a fair price for a few high quality adverts, and these can also last for months, so not a bad investment. So I've placed the 3 orders.
So there's only real one issue I have with the way Mark's actually gone about this, and that's having somebody create the website and somebody separate create the logo. Because if their briefs don't really match up, or the briefs are too brief, you're going to get 2 different things. You're going to get a website that's designed in one way and a logo that's designed in another, and they might not gel together very well. If I was doing this, I would do one then do the other. So I'd either have the logo created then have the website created, because the website designer is going to be able to take cues from the logo, or have it done vice versa. So you have the website done, then have somebody create the logo based off the design of the website. I wouldn't have it all done together, because potentially you could run into some problems.
And these should be ready in the next few days. We'll check back once they're complete.
1 week later.
Right, all the orders have been delivered, and I'm really excited to see how it's all turned out. Let's start off with the logo. I've actually been going back and forth with the designer for a few days now. This was the first design that she sent me. Personally, I'm not really a fan of it, as it doesn't really get across the feeling of quality and comfort.
That's really not a logo that you'd want for your business. That's something kind of dodgy and a little bit kind of, I don't know, criminal intent almost. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want that on my website.
Hoodies. To be honest, it actually looks more like a streetwear brand. I asked for a few changes, and this is the first time I've looked at the final version. Well, it's better, but I don't think it's really what I'm looking for. At the end of the day, we only paid $15 for this, so let's keep it as a backup option and move on to the other orders. Next, let's check out the video we're using for our main advert. If that isn't up to scratch, potential customers are just going to scroll past, leaving us 0 chance of actually securing any sales. I actually really like that. I think he's picked some really great shots, as everyone seems really happy, and the hoodies are shown both indoors and outdoors. Another trick.
I think that's actually a really good advert. Lots of stock footage that's been used, but nice clear font, nice flow to the video as well. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good social media advert.
I've seen a lot of people do is purchasing the item for themselves. Then they can take a more unique video and photos than the ones that are available online. This can be a great way of getting ahead of the competition. Now it's time for the...
Just another note on that one as well. I would recommend actually buying the products before you even do any of this when you're deciding which product you want to have, because one, you want to order it for yourself because you want to check the quality of the product, because you don't want to be selling products that are substandard, especially if you're asking kind of like $45 for it. Also, you'll be able to check the shipping time on it as well, so you're going to know if it's basically really long shipping time. So if it takes like 8-9 weeks to get there, you know you're going to need to find another supplier and basically do the process over again until you find a supplier that you can actually work with, so you're getting a good quality item and the shipping isn't taking the mick too much.
The big one, which is the Shopify website. If the advert's great but the website doesn't look professional and trustworthy, we'll end up paying to get customers on the website that never actually buy anything. The customer could even go on to purchase the same product elsewhere. This means our marketing would benefit our competitors, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So let's load up cozycomfort.com. Well, I think he smashed it totally out the park. The images look really high quality, and that's important as it means people are far more likely to trust the site and part with their cash. I also see that he's created a logo as well, which is really nice, and it's definitely more the style I'm looking for as it looks premium quality. I'm glad he's added photos of both men and women as it opens us up to both demographics, meaning we have far more potential customers and therefore a higher chance of profitability. Let's fire up the app on a mobile to check out if everything.
So I think that is actually a really good website, especially for the price, $175. It looks like it's been presented really well. It's got a good color scheme, he's used good images. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fake customer reviews. Now, these may have been drawn from somewhere else like Amazon, but they aren't actually reviews of your business, your website and your product. They've probably been pulled from somewhere else or just created randomly. I don't like this. If you're going to have reviews, have genuine customer reviews. Don't use fake ones or pull them from somewhere else. And also this pulls into what I just said before with having the logo creator and the website designer working at the same time but not having any kind of cross communication. If you then presented that website to the logo designer, they're going to have a better idea as to what your business is about. They're going to understand like your colors and things like that for your business, and then they're probably going to be able to create a much better quality logo for your business. So I'd do the one first, then the other, as I said earlier in the video.
Everything works smoothly. This is very important as if we are going to be advertising on social media, it means most of our customers will be visiting the website via their phones. I'm not going to completely forget about the desktop version of the website, but it's certainly less of a priority. Having these reviews is important, and I'm glad he didn't just use the 5-star ones and included 4-star ones as well, as personally when I buy something I look at the reviews, and if they're all 5 stars then it looks a little bit odd, to be honest. It's also great that he crossed out the old price and put the product on promotion. This makes it more appealing to customers and should lead to higher sales. After speaking with Sarah Finance on
So I definitely agree with that one. You do need to check your website on mobile devices. It's something you always need to do because mobile traffic is making up around 50% of the traffic to e-commerce websites now, and it's growing year on year. So it is a hugely important part. He's just covered reviews. I reckon these have probably been pulled from somewhere like AliExpress. So they are reviews on the product, but they're not actually reviews for your business. And I just don't like this. Just get genuine reviews on your product before you actually start listing reviews on your site. I just don't like reviews that aren't around your business or you haven't attained personally for your product. I'm kind of rambling a little bit there.
my last dropshipping video, I learned that it's very important to put your product and advert to the
Another thing it just went out of my head, doing the kind of like fake markup and discount, while that is a sales tactic, it's not completely upfront and honest, because is that product really £65? Have you ever sold it for £65 as well? Because in the UK, you do have to kind of say when the product was actually available at the full price. So I don't really like that tactic. It's a bit kind of underhanded to me. Not a big fan of that tactic.
test. A perfect way to do this is through paid promotion from influencers and large theme pages before jumping onto Facebook ads. I managed to find a few large Instagram influencers in the fashion space. Unfortunately, many didn't reply, and some wanted over $500 for a 24-hour story post. I did get a reply from Sophie. She offered to post our adverts on our Instagram feed and story for $150, but you know me, I had to haggle a little bit and get her down on her price, and I managed to secure $100 by making payment up front. I made sure to use PayPal goods and services just in case something went wrong and I wanted to get my money back. I'll get the hoodie sent off to her and I'll check back once the ads are live.
Using influencer marketing is definitely a different way of doing things, and it kind of goes against the grain with a lot of the way dropshipping is taught to just go and do Facebook ads. You can definitely get a bump in your business by going and using an influencer to get started with, but as Mark says, you do need to negotiate with them. If it's $500 and you're just getting started, that is a big expense. $100, it's worth the risk in my opinion, so definitely something worth pursuing. And yes, if you're ever going to pay for anything, you're going to send money to people via PayPal, always use goods and services, because then you have comeback. If you send it as a gift, you don't have any comeback on that money, and if anything goes wrong, you're going to be that money out of pocket, and that person is going to pocket it and not basically have had to do anything for it.
So it's been a little over 12 hours since the ads went live, and I must say I'm extremely happy so far. But before we jump into the results, I want to address something. We may have overpaid for the website and the adverts, which is going to make it harder for us to hit a profit. However, a good website can last a business for years. I once purchased an entire business because their website was so good, and I still use that website to this day.
I actually don't think he's overpaid, particularly for that website. $175 I think is a reasonable cost for that website. It looks good, it looks professional, it's got good images. Could you do that yourself for $175? I don't know. Personally, I think it's a pretty good price. You may be able to have got something for $100, but would it have been as good? You don't know.
And my return on investment has been sky high. The same goes for social media adverts. These video ads can often be used for months to generate far more revenue than I've been able to do in just one day. Now I'm really excited to share these results with you. I think the marketing strategy really paid off as we got over 1,000 visitors to the website. This definitely shows we made the right decision to use a social media fashion influencer to promote our products, as she obviously had the right audience. So in total, we received 6 orders, which came to $550. I'll just hit.
So while generating 6 orders and $550 in sales is really good from the initial $100 investment, I actually think that Mark might have been better off going for an influencer on a different platform. The reason is Instagram is limiting its reach, and I covered that in my last video where I talked about is Instagram good for business. So maybe he may have got a better return on his investment for going for something like YouTube or TikTok, where the influencers may have a much larger market reach, and also it's going to be staying around for a lot longer, that post is or that video. So potentially going for something like YouTube or TikTok could be a better option rather than going for an Instagram influencer, especially as Instagram is limiting the reach of posts for its influencers. Just an idea.
Hit the refresh button so you can see it's all legit. 0.54% is a pretty good conversion rate for a Shopify dropshipping store. I think on the surface these results seem pretty great, but the real question is, did we make any profit? Let's crunch the numbers and find out. For each unit sold, we make on average $26.30 in profit. So using quick maths, I make that out to be $315.60 gross profit. I totally didn't use a calculator.
So that's a useful thing to know. He actually sold 12 units from 6 orders, because some people ordered multiple units, which is definitely something you want with your e-commerce business. You definitely want to try upsells to get more sales through the checkout. And the reason for this is it's going to save you money on basically payment processing fees. It's also going to reduce your shipping as well, because you're going to probably get discounts on shipping for shipping multiple items to one address rather than shipping individual items to multiple addresses, if that makes sense.
Calculator for that. But seriously, $315 in gross profit is fantastic, but we haven't yet subtracted our expenses. So let's add it all up. We paid $175 for the website, $15 for the logo, $20 for the video adverts, and lastly, $100 for the paid Instagram promotion. I'm not going to include the Shopify plan in my expenses because Shopify provides all new users with a 14-day trial, which is pretty good for us. So our total spend comes to $310, which isn't anything too crazy. This only leaves us with a total profit of $5.60. I know this doesn't sound like a lot, but the one-time expenses are now out of the way. We have a great website that can generate sales, as well as a catchy social media advert to drive traffic towards us. And I can't really help but wonder what the results would be like if we trialed this for a week or more. To be honest, I didn't even expect this to be profitable, but this definitely leaves the question, is dropshipping a sustainable business model? I personally think it can be a great side hustle. However, if you want to take it to the next level and build a sustainable long-term business, then I believe it's important to take the leap and physically stock the products yourself. But Mark, you said products require costly warehouses with loads of other expenses. At the end of the day, stocking products will give you full control over your business and ultimately provide your customers with the best experience, which is the most important thing. Happy returning customers spreading the word is the best kind of promotion you can get. I see dropshipping as a gateway business. It's a great way to get a taste for business and develop an understanding of how things work. A great example of this is Ben Francis, who owns Gymshark. They started out by dropshipping back in 2011 while he worked at Pizza Hut. Fast forward 10 years and this business is now valued at over 1.3 billion with distribution centers all over the world. This really goes to show that anyone from anywhere can start a business. If Ben can start from his bedroom, then so can you.
So I thought that was a really interesting video, but I did end up with a couple of questions. The first one was, did all of the customers accept their orders? And what I mean by this is, with dropshipping, because of the long lead times between someone ordering and actually getting their product, some people may wish to cancel their orders because they don't want to wait for the product any longer. Also with retail, what you can have is people want to return the item. Maybe they're not happy with it, maybe it's faulty. Did any of that happen on any of Mark's orders? It'd be interesting to see, because as somebody who's run a retail business, well, an e-commerce business, I know that returns are part and parcel of e-commerce. The second thing is, I'd love to see almost a follow-up to this, to see if he decides to go and run Facebook ads on the site, which is kind of the traditional dropshipping method of building a Shopify store then running Facebook ads. It'd be interesting to see if he decides to do that, and just see if follow-up to see if he could turn this into a profitable business on a week-to-week basis. Just my kind of curiosity on that one. So do I think dropshipping is a good side hustle? Kind of. It's not the side hustle that I would actually recommend. For me, I think it's more of a research type business. So you want to research if there's an audience for your product. Can you get sales on your product? Is the business going to be successful, profitable? Then if it is, if you can establish it in the dropshipping phase, then you can definitely scale it up to a fully fledged e-commerce business. But that's the way I would use it. Running it as a full-time kind of side hustle isn't something I personally would do. I think there's much easier side hustles out there that you could actually do, which are much less hassle, because a lot of people have tried dropshipping, have run into hassle with customers. People complained about lead times on their products, people not being happy with the quality of products. And even though it's supposedly a side hustle, it can take up a lot of your time. For me, a side hustle is something that I only want to put a few hours into a week, and then that give me some return, rather than having hassle all day, every day, which potentially you could have with dropshipping. So for me, it's a great way for researching, but I wouldn't actually want to do this on a full-time basis. So what do you think of dropshipping? Let me know in the comments. Is it something you're interested in? Is it something you've done? What's your experience of dropshipping? Because I'm always interested in your guys' opinion. So let me know in the comments. And that brings me to the end of this video. So if you found it helpful, a like on the video would be very much appreciated. Also, I'll leave a link to Mark's channel in the description below, so you can go and drop him a sub if you want to, because he does produce some really awesome videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.